Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. A while back I made a very fun video where I sorted Wings of Fire characters into different Hogwarts houses. Recently a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a part 2 and I just couldn't resist. Only this time I'll be going over the Legends characters to mix things up a bit. I'll be including all your favorites from Darkstalker Legends and Dragonslayer. This video is particularly suggested to me by 𝙒𝙗𝙗, so thank you so much for giving me this idea. Before we begin, a huge shout out to my patrons, Crazy Roblox Man, 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙁𝙍, and 3 Moons. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Links to social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we dive into it, here's a brief summary on how the Hogwarts Houses work and what the different characteristics are of each one. Students at the secret magical school of Hogwarts are sorted into 4 specific houses depending on their personality, talents, and traits. The first one is Gryffindor, and its defining characteristics are bravery, chivalry, daringness, and nerve. They're usually great leaders, taking the stand when it's needed. The second is Slytherin, and its members are known for their ambition, resourcefulness, determination, and cleverness. Though they have a bad reputation as notoriously taking on the antagonistic roles in the books, a Slytherin at their best can use their skills for good, though sometimes they do end up on the wrong path. The third house is Hufflepuff, with its defining characteristics being a strong sense of justice, loyalty, patience, and a propensity for hard work. They make great friends with their undying loyalty and cheerful spirits. And lastly, the final house is Ravenclaw, which is actually my house. Ravenclaws are known for their intelligence, love of learning, their wisdom, and wit. Ravenclaws are unique, always thinking outside the box. Now that you're a bit more familiar with the houses if you weren't already, let's get right into sorting the Legends protagonists. First up, and honestly one of the most iconic characters in the series, is Darkstalker, who shared a POV with 2 others in his Legends book. With no doubt in my mind, Darkstalker is obviously a Slytherin. He's one of the most ambitious and determined dragons we've met so far in the series, and he uses what he has to get what he wants. He's very resourceful, using anything, everything, and even anyone to carry out his duties if needed. Darkstalker, however, is the definition of a Slytherin god bad, using what skills could be harnessed for good instead for things for his own benefit. Darkstalker's own needs and desires often cloud his way of thinking, and he hinders himself because of it. Slytherins sometimes have the desire to be independent and isolate themselves as a result of their own cockiness and their abilities, refusing to rely on others, even when they need it most. The next Darkstalker Legends protagonist is Fathom, who is definitely the hardest one to place in a house. However, I ultimately had to go with Gryffindor. We've seen some struggling Gryffindors in the books, with the most notable being Neville, and I think Fathom fits into this box. He wants to be brave, but his self-loathing and insecurities got the better of him. But at heart, Fathom truly was a brave dragon who'd do anything to protect his friends, and was a natural-born leader. He was brave when those around him needed it most, and eventually came to accept who he is with the help of Indigo, a fellow Gryffindor, and his perfect match. Now, Clearsight is undoubtedly a Ravenclaw. She's open-minded, brilliant, and diplomatic, using what she has to her advantage in order to solve things in the best way possible. Her brain literally never turns off, with Clearsight always sorting through her visions to find the best possible future for those around her. One that can happen through logic and peace. She's very kind and determined, but sometimes her own ambitious goals would lead to an unhealthy obsession, something pretty common in Ravenclaws who overwhelm themselves with too much, especially when it has to do with knowledge of something, and in Clearsight's case, that was determining the best path for the future. But despite her inner complexity, Clearsight was always there for the dragons she cares about, even when her own mind got in the way. Now, moving on to the main characters of Dragonslayer. Leaf is a Gryffindor for sure. After Ren was seemingly eaten by dragons, he swore vengeance on dragons for what they had done, abusing his greatest traits when he went down the wrong path. However, once he met Ivy, he really began to change. Leaf's true personality started to show through, revealing how helpful his bravery could be when it was used for the right cause. He's quite daring when it comes to helping those he cares about, and at heart would do anything to protect Ren and Ivy. Once he learned the truth about what had happened to his sister, he began to have more of an open mind, and we get to see more of his true character growth into the daring and strong Gryffindor he really is. It's easy for someone so loyal to be misguided, but Leaf powered through. Moving on to Ivy, she is one of the most Ravenclaw-like characters we've seen in Wings of Fire, period. She's curious and inquisitive, observant, even from a young age, talented with the arts, passionate about what she loves, and dreams of being a peacekeeper amongst dragons and humans. If Ivy supports something, she isn't hesitant to make it known. She uses her skills to help her, always finding things others miss. Ivy never lets something go unnoticed, but rather spends the time to ponder what she doesn't know, like how we saw her take a great interest in dragons and their society, just knowing that there was more to the creatures who seemingly appeared as wild animals to those around her. And coming up with Wren's Hogwarts house was just as easy as Ivy's. She is the definition of a Gryffindor. Wren is brave and fierce, though can be quite arrogant, especially when she lets her ambitiousness and independence take over for the worst. She's staunch in her opinions about humans, despite her being one. Wren takes a lot of risks, some of which prove to work for the better, and others that get her in a little bit of trouble. But regardless, nothing can stop her once her mind is set on it. Wren could take on the world before breakfast. And there's no doubt about her loving dragon best friend, Sky. He is a Hufflepuff. Sky's loyalty knows no bounds, and he cares for all the life around him, from the largest dragon to even the smallest snail. He doesn't care about what others think about him, something that a lot of other characters seem to be pretty jealous of. If something isn't right, Sky won't hesitate to let his voice be heard. He can take the stand when those he loves are in danger, and his loyalty and stubbornness to assist those he's closest to can sometimes hold him back in certain situations, but it ends up usually being for the best. And as wrapped up this video, Legends books will always hold a special place in my heart, and I couldn't help but notice the comparisons to the Hogwarts house characteristics when I read about the characters. Is there anyone you think would end up in a different house, or do you like my sorting? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!